Hi, I'm Tony Nichols, and welcome to Chamber Chat. Hi, and welcome to this edition of Chamber Chat, a program put together by the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce to keep you informed of what's going on in your community and in your chamber. We've got something big going on in the community coming up pretty soon, and Caroline O'Hare, the local manager for the National Folk Festival, is here to tell us about it. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, we need to get this word out because, you know, I come from folk country in, North Carolina, but why is this a big deal?
Well, I'm glad that you have me on Chamber Chat because I can't wait to share what's about to happen in Salisbury. And you said that you came from North Carolina, and I was just in North Carolina, in Greensboro, North Carolina, where they just finished their 3-year stint as the host city for the National Folk Festival, and it was amazing. They definitely set the bar high. Greensboro, beautiful city, and it's something also that this festival, when I saw the festival, it was on their 3rd year, and I was talking to a few of the citizens there, and I was saying, this is a great city, you've done a great job, and they're like, this is not what the city looked like before the festival. Really? The festival, in small ways and in big ways, has transformed the community, the city, the downtown area. The city was strong already, but it just added an extra something to it. So I got to see what happens to a community and a city 3 years afterwards. So that was pretty exciting. But now we have the National Folk Festival coming to Salisbury, Maryland.
So tell me what 3 years is. So it's not a 3-year-long festival, is it? Or it's just certain times during the year, for 3 years, we'll have the festival.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a 3-day festival. All right. It's the oldest and longest running celebration of the traditional arts in the nation. Wow. Cities compete to be the host. We are very honored and very lucky to have been selected. It's a competitive position. So we will be the host city for 3 years starting in 2018. So 2018, 2019, 2020. The festival next year will be September 7th, 8th, and 9th. So it's a 3-day festival, and it's a feast for the senses. It's 7 stages of continuous music. It's dance and art and craftsmanship and so much food. And the food is very good. It's not, and the food is also not just what you'd see at a carnival or down in Ocean City, or we've got Maryland fare, but then there's also all these different ethnic cuisines. We had these incredible dumplings in Richmond when we went to their festival. There's Indian food and Mexican food, and basically any type of cuisine that you're looking for or that you haven't tried will be there, and it's delicious. So
with that much food and that many stages, there's going to be food vendors, I would think, from all over. The entertainment for 3 days, as much entertainment as I know we have around here, to fill up 7 stages for 7 days. There's going to obviously be some people coming in that are maybe big names, maybe?
Very big names. The musicians that perform, the musicians and dancers that perform, they're curated by the National Council for Traditional Arts. So they have this catalog of traditional performers. Traditional arts, let me just sort of backtrack on that. The traditional arts are the folk musicians or folk performers from all over America. But if you're in Louisiana, your culture and your folk music is more Cajun, things like that. Yeah, but if you are in the Appalachians, it's a different type of music. Or if you are in New York and you're of Egyptian descent, it's a different type of folk music. Or Chinese American, a different type. So it's all these cultural heritages that have these living traditions. So when I was talking to Julia Olin, the director of the National Council for Traditional Arts. I asked her, I said, what kind of, we've got great musicians in Maryland. How can they be a part of this? She said, well, we definitely will have a process where they can submit for, their music and their art for review, and we'll, consider them for the festival.
Sure.
So, but it's not just that they're the best at what they do. You could have the best blues player in the country, but did that person learn their craft from their parents? Did they learn it from their grandparents? Has this been passed down for generations? Yeah. Are they carrying on these living traditions? Because these artists that are coming are not only world famous musicians, but they're carrying on these living traditions to keep their culture and their art alive, and that's legacy. That's a legacy, and it's something it's very important, and that this festival celebrates. Right. It's a key aspect to it.
Caroline, and I know it's early, but but I think we probably had to pound this out before we submitted our bid or competed for it. Do we have a footprint? Do we know where it's going to be?
We absolutely do.
Of course we do.
We are going to have the entire festival within the downtown Salisbury area.
That's awesome.
So our fluid border right now, because nothing's set in stone just yet, we're still working on logistics, would probably be around 13 to 50, a little over by Brew River, and then up Carroll, close to the hospital. So
that the entire downtown block?
The entire downtown. Yeah. There's no driving, obviously. There's no vehicles. It's all within walking distance. And the stages of our varying sizes, and the next step that we are going to be working with the NCTA on is the logistics of where we're going to place these stages so there isn't sound bleed, so people can comfortably walk from one to the other. It's a very family-friendly event. Yeah. It's a joyous event, and it's something where you spend the whole day. You don't feel rushed, because these performers also perform on multiple stages.
Well, I was just sitting here thinking 7 stages spread out over that particular area. Heck, it'll take 3 days to really walk and truly get the experience of the full festival. So I'm looking forward to it already.
It's fantastic, and what's great is you can try and see all of them. I tried in Greensboro, I tried in Richmond. There's a schedule where you can sort of race to each of them, but it's really more of that thing where you're experiencing music. You're experiencing art that you maybe have never been exposed to before. Sure. So when you walk up to a stage and you say, "Oh, I wonder what Tuvan throat music is."
Gotcha.
And then you find out, and it's this incredible sound that you've never heard before. It's almost that's how you experience the festival, is you just start to wander and explore. You come across a craftsman creating either their pottery or their carvings right there. You get to see them creating their works of art right in front of you. You get to interact with them. It's an incredible experience.
I would think something like this the impact is going to reach much further than downtown Salisbury.
Absolutely. This is not just a festival in Salisbury. While it is located in Salisbury, the effect is going to be up and down the Eastern Shore. And not only is it a cultural festival where people are going to, in a sense, be able to travel around the world without leaving Salisbury, because they're going to see all these different sites and art and music that they've maybe never been exposed to. But it's also going to have an economic impact.
Sure it will.
We are anticipating in that 3-day period $15 to $30 million in direct spending.
Wow.
So that's people, when they come to the festival, they have to eat at a restaurant, or they have to have a hotel, or they get gas and they buy clothes. They go to museums. Maybe they'll rent bikes or stand-up paddle boards, or they'll make a weekend of it. And that's another great aspect of the festival, because we're taking the national spotlight and we're putting it on the Eastern Shore and saying, hey, America, take a look at us. We want to show you how amazing we are, how fantastic we are. We want to invite you to our community, because we want you to come to the festival, but we also want you to come back after that.
Sure, that's right.
So,
that's right. With the economic impact that tremendous, how much is it going to cost for people to attend the folk festival?
I love that you asked that. This is the best answer.
Well, I'm liking it already.
It is 100% free.
Wow.
It's a free 3-day movable feast. It's important that it's free because no one should be denied accessibility to these artisans and to this music. And that's another thing that makes it so joyous, because anyone can come, anyone can explore, and I'm just so excited that we're a part of this.
To be able to bring a truly world-class event to downtown Salisbury, and it'd be free.
I know. I'm
yeah, that'd be cool.
That is really the best part. Especially you see so many kids at the festival just interacting with artisans, interacting with musicians. It isn't so much so like, oh, let's go to a concert and then they get off stage and you never see them again. They're walking around the festival. They're talking to people. They're sharing their talents and their experiences, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
So with it being free, are you looking for sponsors for the event?
We absolutely are. And we are first looking to our local business and community leaders. We've started that already, and we have a few people that will be helping fund this festival. We're going to wait to make our very big announcements very soon. I'm excited, but we're looking for sponsors because there's so many different aspects to this that we want to be able to provide to our community, and also to help make this an incredible festival. So there are things like sponsoring golf carts. We need golf carts to move artists back in front to stage and to the hotel, sponsoring things like the volunteer t-shirts. We're going to have about 800 plus volunteers. So things like that. We have a mobile app that will help people navigate the festival, locate food or art or music, the schedule, directions, parking, all that sort of things. So there are these little things that go into the bigger picture that make this a very special festival. And so I'm looking for sponsors that want to be a part of this incredible event, because not only are they going to be sponsoring a festival, what they're also going to be doing is being the folks that bring this new tradition to Salisbury. Because after 3 years, the Nationals go away, but this festival continues.
Sure. People, I would assume, are going to from around the world will attend this event. How many people? Do you think will show up?
Well, the first year it is smaller, because that's the first year you got to ramp up and stuff like that. So we're anticipating between 75 and 100,000 for the first year.
Oh, just a little event.
Just a little event, just a little something, and then probably by the end of year 3. 150, 175.
We're going to have to stretch downtown Salisbury a little bit.
You know, it's sort of amazing going to the festival in Greensboro and going to the festival in Richmond. I was able to see how they utilize space, how they utilize pathways, and it really isn't like a tight, constrained area. It's a very relaxing, happy thing. But yeah, we have a lot of people coming, and that's why we've also been working with Worcester County and with Talbot County and Somerset. There have been hotel packages that are going to start to be put together all the way into Ocean City, and then up the peninsula as well, bus tours, things like that. So we're also in a very prime location. Because the majority of people that attend this festival come within a 2 to 3 hour drive. Well, within 2 to 3 hours, we have Philadelphia, Baltimore, Annapolis, D.C.
Almost 25% of the population of the U.S.
It's incredible. And those communities now get to come down here and see Salisbury.
Very cool. So last day of the event, next September, what do you want people walking away with?
I want them to feel the joy and the specialness that I felt when I left the festival. And I want them to know that they're going to get to do that again next year and the year after, and that they are part of this new tradition in Salisbury. That they got to see something that not many people get to see.
Special,
And I want them to know that they are the reason why this festival is a success, because it's going to take the whole community to come together, because the festival is for the community and it's by the community. Where can they find out more? Do we have a website up yet? Well, we will have a website. It's the nationalfolkfestival.com. Okay. You can also email me if you'd like at cohare@salisbury.md for more information. And yep, we have a Facebook page where you can also reach us. And we're going to be getting the word out a little bit more on different platforms relatively soon. Well, hopefully this is going to help that effort. I hope so. Caroline O'Hare, a lot of work ahead. Thank you. You seem like the person to have on the job. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Thanks for coming to Chamber Chat. Yeah. We'd like to give you the opportunity now to take a look at the upcoming events with the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back to Chamber Chat right here on PAC 14. We have a special guest today. I guess you would be special. President and CEO of the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce, Bill Chambers. Welcome to the program, my friend. Thank you, Tony. Thanks for having me. It's been a while since you've been on board, but you've been a busy man, so we're going to give you a pass on taking this long to get in here to Chamber Chat. But much like a lot of your new employees, you didn't come here today to do this, by the way, but I'm going to take this opportunity to hijack the conversation because the words that I used with your current staff was interrogation. So we're going to interrogate you. All right. So you're my Robert Mueller. Yes, sir. Okay. And the charges are maybe pending, but they're sealed at this point. Thank goodness. Tell us who Bill Chambers is, man. I'm a father, first and foremost, of 4 great adult children who don't live in our house. There you go. My wife Cindy and I have been over here now about 8 months, and we love it. Everyone has been wonderful and gracious and loving and caring, and we love the community. We knew that before we came over here. This is what attracted us to this area. When I'm not working, I like golf. I like skiing. I can't wait for cold weather so we can plan some ski trips. I love to travel. I love to cook, and we live on the water, so I'm like you, I like to fish, but I'm not very good at it. Well, I'm better at it than a few, but not as good as some. So tell us a little bit about your work history. What kind of, you brought a pretty good pedigree with you. I spent 32 years in the sports and entertainment business. Was the general manager of a 6,500 seat sports arena and 130-acre equestrian complex. So we did national and regional horse shows, and in the arena we had lots of sporting events, professional boxing, minor league hockey, arena football, of course concerts and trade shows and conventions and inaugural balls for several governors in the state of Maryland, so it was a busy place. I retired in 2011. I thought I was really retired. Then became the executive director of the Arts Council in Calvert County. Then thought that was my retirement job, and then took the position as the president and CEO of the Calvert County Chamber of Commerce. And I've been involved in chambers of commerce all my life, on the other side of the table in the volunteer role as a board member. And then while we were looking for a place over here, the Salisbury position was available, and the good Lord took control, and here we are. Well, so this is your 3rd or 4th job towards retirement. Yes. We look forward to the next 15 years before you retire again. Yeah, you told me that before. Yes, I did. So I just want to make sure we have it on tape. Yeah, it's on tape twice now. All right, well, enough of the interrogation. I'll let you slide on that. You did come, however, to talk about the upcoming 2017 economic forecast here in Salisbury. For those that don't know, it's an annual event for many years now. Give us a brief overview of what that's going to be. Well, the event this year has changed markedly. It's become a
an all-encompassing review of the economy of the Lower Shore. So we're not just focusing on Wicomico County, we're focusing on the entire Lower Shore. And including the Lower Shore includes our neighbors to the north in Delaware and our neighbors to the south in Virginia. So the event has taken on a whole new texture this year. We're bringing in a ton of speakers on serious topics, such as our airport. Airport Manager Dawn Veach will be there. We have all 4 of the Lower Shore County Economic Development Directors that will be doing a session about what's happening in each of their counties and how that integrates together, all 4 here on the Lower Shore. We're bringing in Matt Palmer. He is Governor Hogan's Deputy Chief of Staff. Matt's going to talk about the relationship of the Lower Shore to the economy in Maryland and how the national economy is impacting Maryland and what that may mean for us here on Delmarva. Then we have an education piece where Dr. Ray Hoy with Warwick will come in and talk about higher ed and its impact on workforce development and the economy. Our school superintendent here by Wicomico County, Donna Hanlon, will also speak. She'll talk about the next generation of public education. It is changing as we speak. Then we'll shift gears a little bit, talk about tourism. Steve Miller will come in. He's the Wicomico County Tourism Director. Talk about tourism and events that Wicomico County brings in and how that drives the economic engine. Hotels, hospitality, dining services, those things. Then we're going to talk about transportation and transit in general for the Lower Shore. We're also going to have some information from Holly Porter. She's the director of the Delmarva Poultry Institute. She's going to talk about the obvious chicken in the corner of the room, the importance of the poultry industry and agriculture here on the shore. And then at lunchtime, we'll bring our delegation in. This is something we started in April. We're going to ask the delegation to answer some questions about the upcoming 2018 General Assembly session. Of course, we're in an election year in 18, so there may be some questions geared towards candidates as well, not knowing who is declared yet, but we
certainly that piece is always a sold-out event.
Yeah, so that will finish the event. It's going to be a jam-packed day. We start at 7:30 in the morning. We'll run till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a not-to-be-missed event. If you're a member of our community, if you're a business owner, if you're someone that is working in a business in a management capacity, if you're just an interested standby citizen, you need to be at the event.
So it's not just for people that are in suits and pantsuits?
No, not at all. No, we'll have a decent representation of Salisbury University and Warwick students there as well. They're business school students. Fully expect quite a few of those young women and young men will attend the event. It'll be rapid fire. Each of these sessions 15 minutes. There's no Q&A. We go from one right into another, into another. So and all of their PowerPoints and all of the information would be available as a takeaway, so that, folks don't have to worry about scribbling down notes. But it's an incredible event. We have great sponsors. We're still looking for a few more, but it's, again, not to be missed. And it's a radical change from the past where we had a moderator and panels and discussions and Q&A and things that went on, sessions that went on for an hour and a half to 2 hours. This is bing, 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 15 minutes. So we'll cover 15 different economic topics in literally 4 hours.
That may be the answer to my next question. You've come in, you've plugged into an already dynamic organization and putting your own mark on it, and I would think positively, by the way. Why the change to this historically successful event from, though it's not radically changed, there is a significant change. Why the change?
Attendance was dragging the last few years. Talking to attendees as well as presenters, they felt that it needed a new reinvigoration. It needed to be more encompassing of areas of interest that the business community has here on the shore, which is why we included the transportation piece. The education piece has always been a part of it, but the tourism piece is a little bit new, and bringing in all the economic development directors to talk about what's happening in their respective jurisdiction, that's new. So it needed a shakeup is basically what we had to do with it.
So the topics, speak to the topics just a little deeper, if you will. I know transportation, is that just going to be, are these going to be an overview of these topics, or are we going to, in that 15 minutes, or are they going to dig a little deeper and give us a little of maybe the whys behind those topics?
Well, what we've asked the speakers to focus on each of these subject areas is successes, failures, and their vision for what is coming down the road in the next 5 to 10 years for the region. One of the areas I didn't touch on, which is huge, is lower shore wind.
Sure.
We will have our lower shore wind local folks doing one of the 15-minute sessions. Then we're going to bring in a lady, Liz Burdock, who has her company focuses on national wind initiatives. Okay. So she'll talk about what's happened in New England, the Southeast, the Pacific Northwest, the Great Lakes, and she'll give an overview of what has happened to those economies who allowed the wind turbine energy systems to be installed in their localities. That'll be really interesting. That's going to be a little bit more than 15 minutes. We've allocated a half an hour for that. But really, we want each of these subject areas to talk about, again, successes, challenges, those kinds of things.
Yeah, typically you just get the success part, and you don't get the challenge part.
Correct.
And I think in many cases the more challenging pieces are really the ones that we need to know more about, because certainly with this community, there's some bright minds in the room, and if we can get those challenges out there, we can potentially solve some of the issues.
Well, and there's a method to that madness, because a lot of these challenges will then translate into action items.
Sure.
So we want to take the challenges that are presented at this year's economic forecast and use that as a guide for our subject matter for the 2019 economic forecast. So we'll continue to be able to freshen the event up every year based on the information presented each year.
So do you know if we have a full commitment from the delegation to come to the legislative luncheon?
Yes, we're feeding them lunch. They'll all be there.
That typically helps. And to your point, coming into what is sure to be a energy charged election cycle, there's no telling what we might get out of that.
Yeah, I think we'll see some varying points of view on what's happening nationally. This whole tax initiative that's coming out of the Trump administration, I think that's going to be a focus that we're going to ask them questions about, because there will be potentially an impact on Maryland's economy depending on how that all flushes out with the Congress. And again, I think you'll have some rival candidates that will be together on stage for that part of it. So if not for anything, I think that will provide some informative and entertaining dialogue.
We'll go with the entertainment. I would go entertainment and informative. You chose informative and entertainment. What else should we know to wrap this thing up?
You can register online at the Chamber website, which is salisburyarea.com. You can call our offices if you'd like as well. That number, I'm sure, will be on the screen. We'll answer questions for you. We still have sponsorships left. Some of the sponsorships include the opportunity for that business or organization to actually sponsor that speaker.
Sure.
And at the higher levels, actually introduce the speaker. It will sell out. Tickets are available now. We welcome future members. We want them to attend the event as well, so you don't have to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. In fact, we serve the business community regardless of whether you're a member. So we have non-members or future members call the office all the time, and we give them just the same amount of help as we do a member.
Very good. Well, Bill, it's been a pleasure to have you on Chamber Chat, brother. You have certainly made a splash in Salisbury in a good way. We're glad you're here, and we look forward to where you're going to take the Chamber.
Thank you, Tony. We have a great team, and we couldn't do anything without the folks in the office they do all the heavy lifting. Thank you.
I agree. Well, thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank you for joining us on this edition of Chamber Chat. And as always, if you missed a portion of this program or you would like to view previous editions of Chamber Chat, we encourage you to visit the Chamber's website or utilize PAC 14's on-demand feature on their website. That's about all the time we have at this edition of Chamber Chat. My name's Tony Nichols, your host, encouraging you to make a difference.